Welcome to the ilovecooking.ie kitchen. Today I'm going to make this really tasty chicken and cranberry tajine, and I love it because it's easy to make, it's quick to make, and it's fantastic for a midweek supper. And it's got this little bit of spiciness to it, but great depth of flavour, and the fruitiness, children just love it. So I'll just show you my ingredients. What I've got here is I've got some finely diced onion, I've got some chickpeas, that's a can of chickpeas which has been drained. I've got some chopped tomatoes, that's tin chopped tomatoes. Also some cranberries, and they've just dried cranberries. You can buy them in your supermarket. If you don't like cranberries, of course, you could substitute it with maybe some apricots or some sultanas. And then a little bit of garlic that's crushed, some flaked almonds, and lots of coriander which has been picked. And of course, the secret ingredient which makes it so interesting and tasty is the spice mix, which is called ras el hanout. Now when you smell that, you think, oh, I'm in Morocco. It's absolutely lovely. You can buy it in really good supermarkets, or of course you can make your own. So I got a combination of spices, and such a long list, and then you pop them in your pestle and mortar and you just grind away. You can see a few little rose petals that I put in too. So the chicken for this dish is chicken thigh. So that's coming from the leg part of the chicken. You can see the colour of the meat is slightly browner, and comparing it to the breast meat of the chicken, this is so much better. What you want to do is take your chicken thigh. You can see this is skinless and it's boneless, and what you want to do is trim off the excess fat. So there's a little bit of fat here on the edge, so I'm just getting my knife and I'm kind of pushing the fat to the edge, okay, and then I'm cutting. So I'm avoiding cutting off any of the meat because we don't want to waste our meat. I'm going to add my spice blend into the chicken. Okay, be generous. And then I'm going to mix it up so that all the chicken is coated with the spices. If you're making a stew or a casserole or even a curry, like a Thai red or green curry, you should definitely choose this chicken thigh. So the pan is nice and hot. We'll test to make sure it is hot by just putting in a piece of chicken. You hear the sizzle, it's ready to go. Now, we're browning off the chicken so that we give the chicken a little bit of colour, but also the sediment from the base of the frying pan later on will be deglazed, and we'll add it to the sauce, and the sauce will get more flavour and colour. So turn one piece over, have a look. If it's got a nice little bit of brown colour on it, then turn the rest over. Careful not to have the pan too hot because you might just burn the spices, and if you burn the spices, they're just going to taste bitter. And we're going to transfer this then to a casserole dish. So you can see there's nice even colour on that, so we're just straight in. And then we get the rest, just get a little bit more temperature in the pan before you add the second batch. See that little bit of extra spice? Hold on to that, don't throw it out. And again, we're going to transfer that straight into our casserole dish. Okay. Now we're going to set this aside just for one moment. Another little bit of oil, and now we're going to sweat off our onions. Just reduce the heat there slightly. A pinch of salt. Now if you find the pan is a little bit hot, which mine is, I think I should add a drop of water because it cools down the pan quickly. Okay, also if the pan gets a little bit dry, again, you can add a touch of water, or it could be stock, or if you have a glass of wine at hand. So that's perfect. I'm going to add that now to our chicken. And I want to deglaze this pan And make sure we get all the flavour from the onions, the garlic and any spices that were left over. Get them. So essentially you're washing off the base of the pan and all the lovely flavour. And then the last few ingredients are our chickpeas and our cranberries and the tomato. Now you may need to add a little bit of water to this, so the best thing is actually just to rinse out your tin of tomatoes so you're getting every last bit of flavour from the tin, no waste. And then stir it up, and we're going to cook this in the oven. I think it's a good idea maybe just to bring it up to boiling point here on the hob, get a little bit of heat into it, and then that kick-starts the cooking process in the oven. So that's nicely mixed, and put the lid on. And now I'm going to add it to a preheated oven. Just make sure you have enough space between your racks. And that's going to cook for about 45 minutes. Don't be afraid to check it, give it a little stir and taste the meat. So now I'm going to take the chicken out of the oven. It's been cooking for about 40 minutes. You could actually make this even 2 days in advance because stews like this and tagines get better and better with age. Wow, that looks great. So you can see by the colour, the spices have really got into the sauce and it's reduced, so it's thickened a little bit. Now, before we serve, I'm just going to toss a little bit of picked coriander and just give it a little bit of crunch, some flaked almonds, and we can stir that through. And because this is such a great family dish, now's the time to call everyone to the table, put a little bit of garnish on top, and I would actually put the pot on the table, put out the plates, and everyone digs in. And there you go, we have our delicious chicken and cranberry tagine all ready to go. I like to serve it with a little bit of bulgur wheat. It's really easy to prepare. I've just chopped some parsley through it, so I'm going to plonk that down the centre of the table, and there you go, midweek dinner ready in an hour.